Now, I personally feel like the fifth Fast and the Furious movie was the pinnacle of the Fast and Furious franchise, and that the series just should have ended there. Because think about what happened in the movie. Basically, they turned a street racing movie into a heist film, and they brought all the characters from the previous Fast and Furious movies together and did a team up to do the heist. So basically, they did the Avengers before the Avengers even came out, because the Avengers came out in 2012 and this came out in 2011, I think. So they did first, and that was awesome. For anyone who was following the franchise, they all knew who these characters were, and it was really exciting for them to see them come together. And they brought in the Rock too. So the Rock was basically kind of he was the cop that was coming to take them down, and he was on the right side because, well, that he's trying to arrest them for doing illegal activities, and technically he's on the right side, but still we were rooting for Dom and his team, obviously. And so The Rock and Vin Diesel face off each other and fight each other. And this is the first time it seemed like Vin Diesel had an actual adversary. But the bad guy wasn't The Rock in this movie. It was basically what? Who is he exactly? A gang lord or something? A gang lord, and he has a lot of money, and because he ended up causing them a lot of problems, they decide to steal his money, which is in a giant safe. And they decide to steal the safe and just drag it throughout the city using two cars. Now, that doesn't logically make sense how two cars could do that for so long. But that's what happens, and it's awesome to see. The city gets wrecked, but still the visuals are good. And The Rock ends up joining them in the end to take the bad guy down too. He helps out too, even though for most of the movie he was chasing after them. But after his men get killed, he decides to join Dom's team. So basically, it's a full team of all of them, and that's honestly insane and awesome. Now, I understand why they decided to keep making the movies. I mean, the movie did well, so people really liked the movie. So they kind of want to make more and more movies, but honestly, it felt like really repetitive after that point. Because each movie felt like the same thing. It's basically a repeat of Fast 5, but a slightly different story. They team up together in Fast 6 to do something, to get something. They team up in Fast 7 to get something. And Fast 8, well, there's a slight difference. Dom's the bad guy now, so they're going after Dom. They team up and go after Dom. And Fast 9, Dom's brother show up and they go after Dom's brother. And Fast 10, well, I guess it's a bit different since the bad guy it has the upper hand in that movie, but still, the theme is repetitive. Them all teaming up to take on a bad guy. And the movies did do well, but story-wise, it felt a little boring and kept getting more and more ridiculous. I mean, the submarine was ridiculous enough, but then sending Roman Tesh into space, come on. Into space in a car? Come on. That's just ridiculous. And I guess people don't care because people keep watching the movies. But still, I felt like that would have been a great conclusion to a franchise. And honestly, they could have just done a spin-off or something else instead of doing this. Oh yeah, they did a spin-off too with Hobbs and Shaw. So they're doing that too. They're doing everything. And it feels like, well, it feels like kind of like the franchise is getting diluted because of it. Because if it ended with Fast 5, it would have been perfect. Because the Fast 5 had a good ending. It ended with them all getting the money, them all going to different places and living out their best lives. And it ends with Dom and Brian going off for a race. And it felt like a full circle moment, but then they decided to keep going on making the movies. And then Paul Walker died sadly, and that caused problems. But they still managed to keep doing the movies. But still, there was the whole of Paul Walker there too, and it felt excessive and repetitive. And I wish they decided to go in another direction rather than doing this, because by the Fast 10, they've all basically become spies working for the government. Former straight racers and thieves end up becoming spies. So that happens. But yeah, that's one thing I'm sad about for the franchise. And don't get me wrong, when the new movies come out, I do go and watch them because I'm a fan of the franchise. But felt like a Fast 5 was the pinnacle, and they could have left it alone and tried something else.